Just for the record, name and title.
Bob Tess, Chief Finance and Business Services Officer at Wausau School District.
All right, so tonight was the budget hearing for the upcoming school year budget, and what the school board decides on is the levy, correct?
Both the budget, the full budget, and the levy.
Okay. So when it comes to numbers, most people are probably interested in how does that affect their taxes? What are they going to see for the upcoming school year in regards to that area?
Sure. As I shared tonight during the budget hearing, sometimes the school board gets a bad rap for taxes. They decide on the dollar amount of the full levy. The Department of Revenue decides which municipality gets which bill, and then each municipality decides which homeowner gets which bill. Overall, we expect our mill rate to go from about $11 of equalized value down to about $10.79. So that's good news for taxpayers.
So the mill rate then is what actually affects taxpayers, not so much like the general levy fund?
Yeah, the mill rate is the amount that we get charged in taxes for $100,000 of property value, or $1,000 of property value. That way a mill rate of $11 would be $1,100 for a $100,000 value property.
Okay.
So $10.79 would be $10.79 for a $100,000 property.
Okay. And I know it's been mentioned that this isn't really the final number because there's still numbers that have to come in from the state that don't happen until October. What are those numbers that the school district has to wait for?
Sure. The DPI is currently processing all the third Friday pupil counts, and they're processing all the parental choice vouchers that have come in, and they process the final aid amounts which impact our mill rate, our levy. So all of those things are determined during October by the DPI, and they tell us about those things middle of October. So we'll have to have another meeting at the end of October for the board to ultimately set the levy.
So in general, does it look like then for maybe the next year or two that people can expect their taxes to go down in regards to the school district?
I think they're going to remain very stable. They've been stable for the last 5 years in spite of the fact that we passed a referendum in 2015. There's talk of another referendum in 2020. We're going to have to see what our strategic plan reveals. But even if we go to referendum in 2020, we feel confident we can keep mill rates pretty flat throughout that time.
So you mentioned there could be a potential referendum. Do you know what that would be, or is that something that's kind of up in the air at this point?
We're gonna ask the community to tell us if they want referendum. We're gonna do that through a series of listening sessions and ideation sessions that we're gonna engage the community with, and we're gonna try to learn from the community what they want in terms of their buildings and their grade configuration and maybe some other things. So without public input, it's tough to go to referendum. We want public input first.
Okay. So what would you say then would be the most positive thing about the school budget this year?
We got a very favorable statewide budget this year. This was the most favorable education budget I have seen in about 9 years. So we got a favorable statewide budget to begin with. And in Wausau, we had some increasing property values that diluted any mill rate impact.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right.